So we're trying this again. Had some technical difficulties, had to clean the airbrush. Once that was done, had to get some other things sorted. Laying down the base coat right now. This is Elegg, one of the newest characters from the Nikke series. Supposedly an introvert gamer girl type. The other one I'm going to be painting is Saskia. It's a figure from an artist, goes by Ritual Casting. You can find his site at ritualdesign.art. Does a lot of good stuff. All original characters. He doesn't use anything that has copyright on it or anything like that. Right now we're just getting a good base coat on, then we'll throw on some shadows, come back with the base color again, and do highlights after that. Still haven't finished Ruppy yet, but I haven't been working on her either. Just been scatterbrained again. Back in that working on what grabs my interest mode. when I know I should be finishing up other things. And we're getting a bit of tip spatter. Just grab a wet brush. Clean the tip of the needle off. Because that usually happens when paint collects on the tip of the needle. No big deal. It really isn't. If you got your paint mixed right, it should flow out pretty evenly after you go back over it. And we're painting an anime character from a video game here, not a 55 Chevy. Please don't fall over. Actually, probably better if I propped it upside down, because that edge that hides under the shorts doesn't touch anything. Less risk of marring the paint if I do it that way. Yep, that's better. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm off today. Might be a stream tomorrow if I'm feeling well enough. Just been feeling exhausted again lately. But I don't work till 3 tomorrow. So there might be enough time in the day if I can get my ass up early enough and I'm not dealing with headaches or anything like that. Just blowing air over it, trying to speed dry it a little bit, see where I need to add a little more. This one up here drying. I'll start on the other figure. This one's a little more realistic. There's some more detail to it too. Anyone watching? I know a lot of you like to lurk, but if you could throw something in chat just so I know that's working. Had a lot of other difficulties with the streaming lately. Again, just blowing air over. Oh, wonderful light. So it's not this light that's doing it, it's the other one. Let me do something. How's that look? Still kind of blown out, but not as bad. Okay. Let me refresh the messenger. Type something again. No, I think yours is fine. I think it was on my end. And if somebody on YouTube could too, I see... Oh, haha, something again. Just so we make sure that works too, because... Like I said, there's been issues left and right. Our display base is printing right now, but that's going to take the better part of a day. Some more tip buildup. It's alright. Work schedule's getting kind of fucked up. Coworker got T-boned on the way to work the other day. So we're trying to finagle things so you can get as much downtime as possible. Because somebody was in the suicide lane doing 60 when he tried crossing traffic, making a left out of where he lived to come to work, and T-boned him. So, 2014 Mustang totaled, but it did its job and kept him alive. Actually, he's happy about it because he was kind of upside down in the car anyway. And he's got gap insurance, so... But right now he can't sit up without throwing up because of the concussion. It was his baby. I know, you're about to embark on a similar journey again, but fortunately at a better time of year for it. My worst wreck, I hydroplaned a Ford Econoline van into the back of a furniture truck. So I'm probably going to stick with the same kind of blue-gray coveralls, but I might dress it with some orange, kind of like on the inner liner. Hopefully, no, definitely no crash this trip. Then again, you aren't traveling through Wyoming or any place that it snows that heavily, regardless of the time of year. So let's unload the light flesh color, or the base flesh color. Well, are you towing a trailer this time? God, this dim light makes me look older than I am. So you're not towing the trailer. You're not going through, you know, empty frozen hellscape where the cops don't close the road until after you go through it. Probably no warning on the radio at the time either. That's good. So you'll have company for the trip too. That's... So you're looking at what, a 3 or 4 day drive depending on how hard you push it? Oofda. So you'll drive until you're tired, then he'll take over? Well, Virginia to northern, it might not be that bad. I mean, it's only like 20 hours from here. I'd still try and do it in 2 days if I was doing it myself. If I was 30 again, I'd try it, you know, in 1 day. But I'd probably be able to do it, too. And then you'd have to deal with finding hotels that can accommodate the pups and stuff like that. This way, you just got to stop for brakes. Truck's big enough you can crash in the back seat. Yeah, if I cut through Wyoming and then down through Colorado, yeah, I pay the pup fee. So if and when I come visit, I'd basically be going from here through Wyoming, down through Colorado, and cutting over to Texas. Shadow tint. I think I'd have less trouble too if I wasn't using 20-year-old equipment. Who else we got hanging out on Twitch? Hey everybody. I just had you open. There we go. Yeah, New Mexico wouldn't be for very long, though. And like I said, I could either cut through Wyoming, or I could go a little further south and cut through, I think it's Grand Junction, and then over to New Mexico. It really depends on just how far I feel like going in which direction before I get there. Oof. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do any kind of trip out there until next year and after Mason graduates, because we have to do his graduation trip and all that stuff. Nah, fuck that. I'd rather go through Colorado and then zip through Oklahoma and come down through Texas. Just something about New Mexico I don't trust, you know? I've been there. That state just feels too open. Even compared to Wyoming. God damn it. What the hell? For some reason, I read that as you still need to get a horse. Yeah, I can see it now. You being a rancher. We never did get that other camera set back up. I just wanted to see if it had better blowout control. I know. It just feels like every time I try and plan for something like that, the time gets stolen. Yeah, we'll figure everything out when you get situated. I just hope the new place is a good fit for you. I hope they can accommodate your idiosyncrasies and not make you feel abandoned like my place did, you know? That's good. It's essentially the same thing you were doing already, isn't it? Just new company? Oh, wow. Okay. Sadly, Jen doesn't want to move to Texas. To be honest, I don't want to move there either. It's not so much that it's Washington now, it's Northern California. But unfortunately, sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. Yeah. He's done a second version of her where she's welding, too. I'm just putting an initial shadow layer in now, using the airbrush. And I'll add highlights too. And once I get that laid in, depending on how it turns out when it dries and how the rest of the figure goes, I'll probably come back with artist oils and start really tightening up the color separation and blending and stuff. Today and Friday. Then next week I'm off, I want to say Thursday, Friday? After tomorrow, I also do 7 to 3s on those days. If I can fight the nap trap and I don't feel like I'm just exhausted to all hell, I'll try and get an afternoon stream, but I can't. I can't guarantee anything. Don't worry about it. Oh. And lately I've been having trouble with my Camaro's window switch, right? Because back in the 70s, the designers at GM designed their window switches to use this big plastic block that the 5 wires go into, right? That the pins, yeah, electric windows, that the pins settle in for the switch. It's a 5-pin connector. All the block is for is to keep the pins from touching. So, like, if something were to happen, they'd, cross together and zap. So, there's no regulation, no resistors, nothing like that on it. So I was looking at it, and I'll probably start doing it tonight. All I have to do is replace the weird electric connection on each one, or the weird metal part, with a barrel connector. And then crimp that down and slide the particular wire onto the particular pin, and then heat shrink it. Same exact connection, just without the big plastic block that cost $500 to replace. That's an exaggeration. It's not $500, but it's not cheap either. And all it does is essentially separate the wires from touching, so that way it's neat and orderly. I can still keep it neat and orderly. I just don't need this big hunk of plastic that's causing more problems than helping. So they'll probably do it later tonight after the sun goes down a little bit, cools off. Just get my crimpers and my soldering iron out there. Yeah, even the 79 had electric windows on it. The other one I had. Yeah, my coworker with the Mustang was surprised one night when we go to leave, and he parked next to me, and I got in, started the car, and all of a sudden he sees my window rolling down. He goes, "That's got power windows?" I'm like, "Yeah." Camaro had power windows as an option before the Mustang did, and it actually did. I looked it up. Camaros had factory power windows as a selectable option, like years before the Mustang ever had them. Is the music too loud, or is it good? Because I'm just looking at my values here. Clean this out. We'll go back with the initial color again. Just to touch things up. Now that it's dried some, I can also see where I need to add more paint, especially on Elegg's legs. So I might glue the torso to the legs on this character, simply because it'll be easier to hold, because I can just hold the legs until I get ready to paint that, and I can continue to do all the painting together. There's a nice seam line at the belt that's pretty well hidden. I turned it down a hair so that doesn't happen. I want to turn off the compressor for a minute, just to give the paint a bit more time to dry. And here's the big wrenchy thing. I've already filled in all the drain holes for the resin. This was 2 parts. I'll get those sanded down. Again, though, there's more textures than originally noticed on it. Come on, autofocus. I don't know if you can see the texture in the fabric here. So when that's ready, it will go around about there. And then the head, like that. So back to this color first. We're having to do some tighter work, so I want to make sure that the needle's clean. Probably thin this out a little bit more just so it'll spray a bit finer. Or not. It seems to be pretty thinned out. Okay. Yeah, it's doing all right. So we're just tightening up some overspray, helping the shadows enhance a bit. Using the shape of the figure to help cut the line. That's better. Those of you following on Instagram will see the results tonight. Get her cheeks. Her head's going to be covered almost completely by hair, but her cheeks and mouth won't be. What have we got going on here? Some kind of strange backup on this. It's flowing now. Yeah, my next Saturday off right now isn't projected to be until more in the September time frame, because of the contest I'm trying to get to. That's on September 21st. I'm thinking I'll bring Felicia, maybe the Baroness, the cyberpunk girl with the mantis blades and the roller skates. It's an all kinds of model contest. I just don't have anything like scale finished, and I'm really not in a scale building mood. I've been trying. I've been tinkering on some Humvees and stuff like that, but just can't stick with it. So I'm tightening up the shadow areas a bit, and I can see where I needed to add another coat for the base color. That's what it is. So the suction hole over the needle has become partially blocked, so I'm not getting the flow I need, because the air isn't flowing as it should. There we go. The wonderful things that happen to airbrushes. When I'm able to come down, though, my hope is to take the Camaro on the trip. I should really try and finish Cammy for the contest. She's been sitting at 50% for a month now. I just keep subject hopping too much. There we go. Now the highlights. But as far as future projects, I've got Jesse by Ritual Casting. Not a sponsor. It's like a cyberpunk character on a wakeboard kind of thing. And then Felicia version 2. More relaxed pose, same character that I did with the embroidery and the steampunk character, essentially. Spray. Almost time for a new Windex bottle. have y'all been up to? Or is my chat not working again? I think tonight I will look for a new ultrasonic cleaner on Amazon, because I really need to give this airbrush a what for. A good soak and just a good clean. Shot with just Windex. I was honestly hoping to be up earlier today and on earlier. But on my days off, if I don't have to wake up to an alarm clock, I try not to. Give this a good shake. Wait a minute. Wrong one. This is the lighter tone. Yep. And then while that's drying, we can lay in the colors we need on here. Yes, she's wearing a green spandex top under that, or gray. That's where I had to repair the shoulder from a misprint. A little bit of Aves and a rubber sculpting knife. Done. So just like that. But we can lay in the white for her jacket and sleeves, and probably on the band on her belt we can throw some white on there. That's going to be yellow with some gray shorts. So we got lots of painting to do still. When it comes to masking off, we'll probably go with the masking putty. So when I've got to do like Saskia's arms and other areas, I can put the masking putty on there and then airbrush away. There's plenty of brushwork ahead, but just not right now. This should be the highlight color. It's not like terribly bright compared to the base color, but it is noticeable. I may even make a fourth pass, being slightly brighter. No, it worked okay for Cammy. Doesn't help I'm running out too, so I'm probably going to have to make up more. And welcome to the new viewers who may have just hopped on. Hope your Monday's going okay. Probably will do a fourth highlight pass. I just don't think this paint contrasts just enough. Like, it does, but not for this character. Okay, I can see you now. Some people just aren't talkative today. That's all right. What I might do is save the final highlight for the oils, where I can blend them a bit better. The airbrush, you can kind of go a little too far. You can almost lose definition if you push it too hard with this. At least on smaller scale with stuff. It's not turning out too badly. I wish the glare wasn't there so you guys could actually see. Could be I've also got my window uncovered. Let's see, does that help? Not at all. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to switch out cameras after this stream. The connection's the exact same as far as the cable, so I don't have to redo anything like that. I just got to put it on and let the computer recognize it. Okay, so Saskia's stuff all over here. This could be painted white. Her arms, I'll have to mask off here. The outer edge of the sleeves get painted white. The insides are yellow with a black line. So I got to be sure this is cleaned out really well if I'm going to spray yellow next. Or not yellow, white. It's been a few days, I'll tell you that. I don't know if I need a good vacation again or what. I hate to say it, it's really kind of hard to get excited for anything right now. at least for me. If I give this thing a bath, it needs to be in something like lacquer thinner or something. So before we start shooting white, I want to clean off the desk a little bit, get everything out of the way that it doesn't need to be there. So get the belly out of the way. Hang up the airbrush for a minute. Base. Yeah, you see those actually evened out pretty well. I'm going to get this off of here. Really? And that's just easy off spray equivalent to Formula 409. But I found it works really well on most acrylic paints if you let it sit for a moment. Even better than Windex. Windex is great for Tamiya. What all would you guys like to see me work on next? Just for a change of pace. And keep going with the figures. You know, force myself to do something scale. Yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm going to pause real quick. Go check on the print, make sure it's going well, and then take a move around break too, and I'll be right back because we've been at this for just over an hour. So one moment. So, masking putty. The brand I use is by Games Workshop, but it's copied by AK, Ammo, all the usual acronym names. I just got this one because for once, Games Workshop was actually cheaper. Or not Games Workshop. Is it Games Workshop? Green Stuff World, which I think is Games Workshop anyway. Aren't they all connected somehow? But this is the same thing that MiG or AK or Ammo make for their camo putty. Who's that? Arnie. It's really neat how this stuff works though. It's non-adhesive, it doesn't leave a film. It sticks, but by its own properties. It's not like it's not like slime where it's got a fluidity to it. What are you doing, Arnie? Hi, buddy. Arnie boy, yeah. You staying out of trouble today? And of course, he pulls an alley and gets on the desk. And it's okay if you shove it a bit too far down in when you're initially masking off the shape. What are you doing? Why are you being a Mr. Nosy? So we'll also need her shoes. Her top. What? What are we sniffing at, huh? What's the matter, huh? Good boy. I know, you're 17. Just trying to get your lovin's in while you can, huh? What? Ow! Do I need to trim your claws? I know, this is what you guys tune in for, right? See a person give lovin's to their cat. No. I know that look. You were going to start nibbling. We don't do the nibbles. Sorry. So basically I'm using the sharp edge of the rubber knife or the rubber brush to kind of bring it back onto the arm where it went over too far into the sleeve. And then once that's on, you can take a brush and run it around it if you wanted to touch up the white for the sleeve in there. Or if you wanted to add a shadow, you could glaze in some light gray or light ghost gray just to give that area a bit of depth, which I might actually do. We might actually do some airbrush shading with a white-gray mix that I've got. Because it's just the right amount of darkness. Which one is it? It's right here. It's like a 50-50 of light ghost gray and white. So that'll be our shadow color. Then we can go darker if we need to for other areas. Her hands, they'll get painted gold, or the gloves will have gold gauntlets on them with yellow and gray fingers. Arnie, what? You know, I can't do much with you guys up here like this. Are you gonna go get your granddaughter and bring her down, huh? You gonna go get Allie? What about your grandson, Frankie? Hmm? What are we doing? Hmm? Bonk. Can I continue, or are we making this a cat stream now? Hmm? Which one is it? Hmm? Cat stream, I'm thinking. Yeah. Over here. Good boy. Okay, Arnie, you keep this up, I'm gonna have to put you on the floor. Good boy. He listened, though. As soon as I said, hey, keep this up, I'll have to put you on the floor, he went right over there and sat down and started cleaning. Alright, so there's those. Her top and her sneakers. And now I just need to find the flat white. There it is. Make sure there's no white on her bag either. Outside of the bunny emblem. Nope, it's all black and yellow. And her shorts. What was that? Beep. We'll also have to use the masking putty around these straps, because they're yellow straps, but they fade to orange at the ends. And then they go solid orange where they cross her chest piece there. Still trying to decide on the color for her work jumpsuit. I'm thinking this for the base color. For Saskia. It's similar to the one I did in smaller scale, but it's a bit more blue. The other one is gray. This would be the highlight. But that would also allow me to do some other kind of logos and stuff on it. Or should I just make her a Weyland-Yutani character? Ow, 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 ow. More airbrush time, Arnie. Watch out. Basically just do the other one, but bigger. I think it's the simplicity of it that actually makes it work better. Speaking of which, before I move on to Jessie and the second version of Felicia, Kuton Sculpts has released their Corporal Hicks. Kind of like I did with Vasquez. Turn this down so I can hear myself think. Once I finish Elegg and Saskia, should I get Hicks and make that more of a priority character? I think it's $25 for the files. It's the first Colonial Marine character besides the Vasquez that he did that doesn't look like a roided out video game character, but actually looks like they do in the film. I might have to thin out the white hair. Let's try it. It's just not spraying very well. Part of me wants to continue on and do Jessie and Felicia first. That way, in case I get sidetracked, I don't spend money on the Hicks files and never get back to them. Because I still have Red Hood to do. A couple other characters. Thinned out the paint a hair more. We'll keep going. If anything, I can just give that a second coat too. Oh yeah, that's spraying better. I know. I do too. You would think after moving so many times in our lives we'd be a bit more used to it, but it's the fact that we move so much that we don't really want to move again. There's the source of a lot of the stress. Stop speckling on me. Probably got to clean the nozzle again. It's the one thing that everybody in the military can universally hate together, or everyone that was in the military too, is moving. Did you pack up Ecto 1 okay? Just remember, if a model breaks, you can always rebuild it. There is nothing that isn't replaceable, even if it's like a washer or dryer or anything like that. It's just fine. I'm gonna try something here. Styrofoam. There's styrofoam peanuts? Nothing ever makes the trip intact. Like what ones? Which tank? Don't tell me you threw out the Gepard. Or not the Gepard. Yeah, the Gepard. The anti-aircraft one? One with the Bandai one? Arnie, no. I'm trying. Dude, really? I'm trying to reach here. Or was it the weird German self-propelled gun with 2 barrels on it? Not the Command and Conquer tank, was it? Okay, paint's a little too thin now. Oh, the Lee, yeah. Now we gotta reload the paint. But I can dial in the thinning a bit better now. Oh, people like those kits because they're full interiors, but at the same time, that's the drawback of those too. If you want to reapproach the subject, the Tamiya one that's like older than I am is actually a pretty decent kit. Other people might crap on it, but it builds up nicely. Hey, Major Havoc, we're doing okay. Painting up Elegg from the game Nikke, and a larger reprint of Saskia from Ritual Casting. How have you been? I'm just going to hold it like this because it's easier that way. Oh no, don't go down that path. You'll never recover. Well, I can highly recommend the Elegg Saturn series. If resin printing is what you're after. What color are these straps? Yellow, okay. Gotcha. Well, I hope you enjoy them. Yeah, you're probably not going to be printing out 1/3 scale anime girl figures. I'm just trying to get the one paint that never cooperates to cooperate. Tamiya flat white. There's just that one time I got the gloss white to come out perfectly smooth. And that was on the Cyber Succubus. Other than that, you have the troubles like I'm having right now. You can never get it to spray right, you can never get it to brush right, like you said. Soles of her shoes. Vallejo white starts out thicker, so you have a little bit more leeway when it comes to thinning it. So it's a bit more forgiving when you're brushing, too. Thing is, none of the guys in my model club know I'm going to be trying to go to the contest on the 21st, so shh. I was trying to grab it by the sole, since the sole is a off-white yellow color. Like a buttery color. Yeah, nothing's really been behaving for me lately on a technical level, so... I haven't finished a single thing since I finished Felicia. Which is over a month ago now, I think. I've been subject hopping like a jackrabbit on steroids. Oh, that's one thing, Aries. You'll be going back to the land of the jackrabbits. Your little labs will be able to do what their genetic imperative tells them to. I completely forgot about those nightmarish things. The only thing worse is the hares that were all over the Lakenheath field. Every time the ones with the brain hemorrhage disease, and every time they mow the grass around the hazes, the fucking mowers would kill them because they couldn't run away. They're too blind and too deaf because their brain swelled out. These get painted yellow and black, so I'm good to hold them there. Yeah, between the lawnmowers hitting them and us and our cars hitting them, I know I took out 6 or 7 on the way out the gate one night, they're all just sitting in the road after some old lady who was protesting by herself stood in the way for half an hour. Tamia, your yellow paint is really pissing me off tonight. But we're making it work. Or not your yellow, your white paint. We'll get there eventually. I had a similar experience with one on the way in one night. It jumped out of the bushes and hit my headlight, and I thought it had died and rolled off the car and broken my headlight. No, turns out it got stuck on it. We didn't know until I got to the gate, and security forces guy was like, you got a pigeon on your headlight. I'm like, well, can you get it off? So he takes his rifle and kind of nudges it off onto the ground. Never had a run-in with a pheasant, though. Just the pigeon. Ah, fudge. Oh, that was premature, wasn't it? So those will be yellow in the end. This will be yellow in the end. Okay, let's clean out the airbrush, get the gray loaded up so we can do some shadows on this. No, but the one I hit, was it the A11 that went by the base on that one side, or was that a different road? The one that went toward the five ways if you made a right. I went out that one evening, and there was like 5 or 6 rabbits in the road, maybe 7. And I just remember hearing each individual thump until one got stuck on the drive shaft of the Camaro and just until it fell off. So have you printed anything with your new printers, Major Havoc, or not yet? But I know you lived the other way from me, didn't you? I never went to your house over there. That's good. Yeah, you lived in Bury St. Edmunds. You lived way the hell away. I live more towards Newmarket. Even though Bury had a great hobby shop in it right off the city center. I love that little place. It's not there anymore, unfortunately. Hopefully I got enough of this mix left. Oh, their market days were great. And I have none of this left. That was a custom mix, too. Alright, looks like we're mixing up some more, then. Good thing I have light ghost gray and white. So... there's that. Now I just need some light ghost gray. That's dark. I have 8 tries. So far, 4 of them have not gone well. There we go. I missed that market, and I missed the Snetterton Raceway flea market as well. That place disappeared pretty quickly after we left. Owner died, family didn't want to continue it, sold it off. So the gigantic hobby shop that was there was no longer there. Perfect. Just shake it up a bit more since that was some pretty thick white. But I used their airbrush ready paint to mix it, so hopefully that thinned it out enough. If you're looking into doing some larger figures that aren't just Wargaming minis, though, Major Havoc, CG Trader's a good place, as is My Mini Factory. If you're looking for anything like movie characters and stuff like that. And obviously you don't need to print them out as large as I am. I'm upscaling them. Oh, that's too thick. That came out like poop. It just came out like fucking soft serve, dude. Because I used the Vallejo White and Vallejo Airbrush Ready Light Ghost Gray, and when I squirted it into the airbrush cup, it came out like soft serve ice cream. Everything's been blown out by the glare of the camera. That's wonderful. So in the game, she's addicted to playing Boom, which is Doom, for copyright's sake. But instead of having the Doom Slayer, the in-game Doom character is the Goblin Slayer from the anime Goblin Slayer. Or it's styled after it anyway. Some nice little pop culture jabs with this character. I might actually make that part of her display base. No, she has the BFG 5000. Which I could make it and sling it across her back. I just thought all the other references are kind of funny. Now, I wish you guys could see this, but unfortunately the camera's blowing it out. But this is working exactly how I wanted. It's keeping the sleeves looking voluminous while not drowning out the white. So if you were to see it in person, you'd see that the shadows are grayed out, but it would still look like a white sleeve. What's really sad is the BFG is the only thing they got right in that 2005 Doom movie, and they didn't even use it for that long. I think I thinned it too much now. I'll probably come in with a slightly darker mix and shoot it in some of the actual detail lines and fold areas. Just to pop them a bit more. I was going to get the files for the BFG and print one out and sling it across her back like the character looks in the game. It's the only thing this model's missing. And I'm still trying to think of ways to rearrange the room as well. Not like anything major, but I want to get my airbrush booth in use. So it has to be near a window one way or another for the exhaust vent. So is the facehugger not working today? Because one, I haven't seen it, and two, I can't trigger it since channel points aren't visible on here. Let me try here. These are the things I need to know. That's alright. I've had worse. Weird, it seems to not be up here anymore. Because it was one of the browsers. Because usually all I had to do was refresh it. Unless it doesn't work. No, we know it works with this. I might not be able to adjust it with Restream up, because usually it's one of the browsers that all I got to do is refresh it and it works again. See if that works again. Nope. That's strange. Oh, there we go. It's just delayed. That was weird. Works again. Why does that remind me of Christmas Vacation when he cut the top of the banister off? Okay. We have done a shit ton of airbrushing so far. I need to take another break real quick. So I'm going to put up the pause screen and be right back.
Most wanted.
Alright, we are back. Gonna have a little snack. Is everybody else doing okay today, though? What other music can I find on my hard drive? I'm trying different so-called royalty-free stuff, just to see what works, what doesn't. Because I've had some things, they'll trigger the copyright thing, but I won't get a strike because they are royalty-free, and then other things will, but I have to mute it. Probably too soon to mask this for the yellow, which I'd like to do so I can get all the masking off. I don't know. We'll try it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually pretty simple, and we can do this pretty quickly if I have yellow. Oh, that's right, I do. We'll give mission models a try over to Mia, see if it holds better. Right there. Just trying to get a feel for how broad the strip is, and it's not very. It's almost like it's like that. Put this on her torso and see. Needs to come out more. Okay. Yep, there it goes. alright. Again, I'm not worried about the gauntlet because that gets painted yellow anyway, or gold anyway. Like gold. We'll do that by hand. So this gets painted yellow, and then a hand-painted black strip gets put on the border between them. I'm gonna have to hand paint the stuff on her jacket though, because her shoulder straps and the back harness are all yellow. It'll be easier to hand paint it. Bit right there. Okay. Get a front view again. Right there, and then down, too far back. That's better. Well, I know what Ares has planned for the upcoming weekend. What's everybody else planning for their next weekend? I will, of course, be working. I'll be off Friday, but I'll be working the rest of the weekend. And Hybris Studios just released a set of files for Helm from Nikke, and they did it right this time, not the dance dress version, but the actual in-game character look. And I think they're doing Modernia, which is the first Nikke you have to kill, resurrected. This is the same yellow I painted the power loader with, and I remember it going on pretty good and actually being pretty resilient. So we'll see. Let's move you out of the way so I don't get overspray on you or you. Notice I'm trying to not spray directly into the tape edge. I'm spraying along it. It keeps bleeding from happening. You don't load the edge and blow the paint under it. Seeing a lot of new weird Twitch things on my page from time to time. Didn't load enough in. That's better. Her shorts I'm basically gonna brush paint. They're a small enough part I can get away with that. This just has a black belt going around with this yellow kind of hip pouch thing here. Just trying to get that base coated as best as possible. Same thing on the bag, there's a lot of hard edge black paint work to do. I'll be able to accomplish that easy enough. The bunny's supposed to be white, but I can probably get that hand painted easy. Making sure you've got a good solid yellow base under everything else. deem that? My chat's going screwy again. It's not giving me anything. Alright. As far as I'm aware, there's no yellow on her shoes, or if there is, I will have to redo it. Or not redo it, hand paint it. Yeah, it's more of a sand color on her shoes. Okay. So let me get this back in the bottle. I see you now. What are you, imitating John Cena? Because for shading on the yellow, I just want to throw a little bit of a darker brown in here, just like a dropper 3. Mix it up and then put that in the shadows. There we go. Well, we're up to 8 viewers. Welcome everybody. So we added a bit of chocolate to this, or leather brown actually, to bring it down into the mustard range a bit more. So we can start spraying shadows. If it wants to take up the paint. There we go. Hair too dark with those. That's alright. Because there's an easy way to fix that. Since yellow is such a transparent color, you can clean out the airbrush and then mist it back over that. Bring it back up. This just keeps from desaturating the yellow. That's why I keep taking the breaks about every hour, is just to move around, get my blood moving, especially in the legs. 48 now. Blood clots are a very real concern. So, anybody else who does any long-term stuff like gaming or model building, don't forget to get up every now and again. So can everybody on YouTube hear me okay? There's 2 people there, but no one's commenting from there. I just want to make sure the chat's all working. I've refreshed it and everything. But we've had some technical stuff today. Bit of the yellow back in and hit up the highlight areas. Yeah, Mission Models paints lately for me have been hit or miss. Some of the colors very hard and fast, they stick on well. Others don't like to be handled, like they wear off if you look at them wrong. And then others even more so. Yes, I can, Aries. Thank you. Like decal solvent will reactivate them, which I don't like that at all. Even using their sealer, it doesn't help, because once the solvent gets through the sealer a little bit, it makes it murky again. They claim their stuff doesn't like to play well with other people's products. So even sealing it under Future or Tamiya or Mr. Hobby is problematic. I'm going to try the Mr. Hobby Clear Flat, see if that does anything before I put a gloss coat on. What is going on here? Yeah, I definitely need to get a new ultrasonic. Now it's not spraying at all when it was not 10 minutes ago. That's just it. You shouldn't have to thin out mission paints. At least that's what they say. So, yeah, use at your own risk on mission models. If you figure out the formula for making them work well, let me know. They're not bad, their colors are great, they've got a good selection. You get big bottles for the price, and they do last for quite a while. Just overall, it could be a bit more hard-wearing, you know, for like handling and stuff. That's why for Saskia, I might see about matching this azure blue to something else I might have. I'd like the color. I'll give it a shot, maybe. I don't know. But even with a good primer down and everything else, I've had issues with their paints reactivating and coming off and not sticking well. I can say that their acrylic clear coat, like their acrylic clear gloss, is wonderful. Self levels really well. I brush painted it on the Baroness, and it looks like she's wearing, you know, a vinyl catsuit that's like stretchy. So it did what I wanted it to do. Because my worry is on the, like when I did my 48 scale YF19, that's when I found out that their paint doesn't like decal solvents. Almost fucked up some major decals on it, but I made it work. So before I do the YF19 Batroid paint, maybe I should go buy their clear coat again and give it a good layer of that. See if that holds up better. I have a feeling that'll be about it for the stream today. It's been 2.5 hours. I really got to let some of this stuff dry. And I want to test out the paint before I paint Saskia with it, or else I'll wind up repainting her completely. So yeah, but before we stop, let's peel off the masking here, see how it all worked out. Watch it peel off half the white paint, right? There we go. So I'm going to have to hand paint a black line right down through there. But I think that is turning out quite all right. Nice and sharp. The other hand, the other arm. There we go. And then the masking putty, you just peel it right off. And we have to go back in with our gray mix. I didn't get it close enough. But that's fine. I can go back in and brush paint that. Same there. So far, starting to come together. I like it. Masking putty. So next stream could be tomorrow if I can get up early enough. I don't have to be at work till 3, so I've got till 2 to do something. Can't guarantee anything. These days I really can't guarantee regularity, unfortunately. If we do have one, I'll probably be working on Saskia a bit more than Elegg. Yeah, we'll go from there. See how it goes. But thanks everybody for watching and hanging out. And we'll see you all hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Friday.